Imagine the wind howling, snow swirling, and the air so crisp it crackles. This is the stage for winter 2026. Two colossal forces are preparing to shape Europe's season: La Niña, the cool Pacific current, and the mighty Polar Vortex, a swirling mass of Arctic air. When these giants interact, they can transform an ordinary winter into one of unforgettable intensity. Early forecasts suggest a season of contrasts: milder, stormier beginnings, then a dramatic shift as the polar vortex weakens. This instability could unleash Siberian cold, plunging temperatures and piling snow in places unused to such extremes. La Niña cools the Pacific, influencing weather worldwide, while the polar vortex usually locks Arctic air in place until it falters. If both align, Europe could face a winter that's both beautiful and challenging. We'll explore how these forces work, what they could mean for Europe, and how to prepare for what's coming. From the Alps to the UK's coasts, understanding these patterns helps us stay safe and appreciate nature's spectacle. This is your guide to the dramatic winter ahead. Let's dive into the science and the story of winter 2026. La Niña, the little girl, is a powerful climate pattern that cools the tropical Pacific and ripples weather across the globe. In Europe, La Niña's early winter act often means a stronger Atlantic jet stream, bringing milder, wetter, and stormier weather, especially to the west. But as winter deepens, high-pressure blocks can form near Greenland, diverting mild air and opening the door to Arctic and Siberian cold. This shift can trigger dramatic cold snaps and heavy snow, especially in late winter. Past La Niña winters, like 2010-2011, brought record cold and snow to the UK and Alps. Even a weak La Niña, as expected in 2026, raises the odds of a colder, snowier late winter in Northern Europe by up to 50%. Don't underestimate this little girl. She can pack a mighty wintry punch. Europe should brace for a season of surprises. High in the stratosphere, the polar vortex reigns, a swirling fortress of Arctic cold. When strong, it keeps Europe mild by locking frigid air far north. But if disturbed, the vortex can wobble or split, unleashing Arctic air southward. This disruption, called sudden stratospheric warming, SSW, can flip Europe's weather for weeks. The infamous Beast from the East in 2018 was triggered by such an event, bringing record cold and snow. Early models for 2026 hint at a shaky vortex, raising the risk of prolonged cold snaps. When the vortex weakens, Europe's winter can turn extraordinary, fast. Meteorologists are watching for signs of SSW, knowing it could be the season's game changer. The polar vortex's mood will decide if winter 2026 is merely cold or truly historic. Prepare for the possibility of a stratospheric surprise. Winter 2026 could see La Niña and a weak polar vortex joining forces, a recipe for severe weather. La Niña's atmospheric waves can destabilize the vortex, making a sudden stratospheric warming more likely. The first half of winter may be mild and wet, but beneath the surface, the stage is set for a dramatic shift. By mid-January, a blocked pattern could form, cutting off Atlantic air and letting Siberian cold flood Europe. Easterly winds could bring weeks of freezing temperatures and persistent snow, especially to the UK and Scandinavia. The Beast from the East in 2018 was born from this very setup. Winter 2026 may not be identical, but the risk of a prolonged, severe cold spell is real. Europe should be ready for a clash of climate titans. For the UK and Ireland, expect a winter of two halves. Early on, a strong Atlantic jet stream brings wind, rain, and above-average temperatures, snow limited to Scottish peaks. But if the polar vortex weakens, a blocking high could flip the pattern, letting bitterly cold air pour in from the east. This could mean widespread frost, icy roads, and heavy snow, even at low levels, especially along eastern coasts. Past events like 2010 and the 2018 Beast from the East show what's possible: travel chaos, school closures, and a transformed landscape. While a repeat isn't certain, the risk of a prolonged cold, snowy spell from January to March is higher than usual. Residents should prepare for a winter that could test resilience and readiness. The key: stay informed, stay safe, and be ready for rapid change. Winter 2026 could be one for the history books. Central Europe and the Alps are in the crosshairs this winter. Early season may bring a mix of rain and cold, but as the vortex weakens, deep freezes and heavy snow become likely. The Alps could see record snowfall, great for ski resorts, but raising avalanche risks and threatening mountain communities. Nordstau events may dump snow on both northern and southern slopes, disrupting travel and daily life. Major cities like Berlin, Warsaw, and Prague could face transport chaos and energy strain from persistent cold. Rivers may freeze, and heating demand will soar. While these regions are used to winter, the duration and intensity in 2026 could be exceptional. Preparation and caution will be essential for both residents and visitors. The Alps may offer legendary skiing, but also legendary challenges. Scandinavia could see one of its coldest winters in years, with Arctic outbreaks and temperatures plunging to -40 in Lapland. A strong Scandinavian high may anchor the cold, creating perfect conditions for spectacular northern lights displays, possibly visible as far south as Denmark or northern UK. Meanwhile, the Mediterranean faces a stormy, wet winter as blocked patterns steer Atlantic storms south. Drought-stricken areas like Spain and Portugal may get relief, but flooding risks rise for Italy and the Balkans. Occasionally, Arctic air could surge south, bringing rare snow to cities like Rome or Barcelona. Brief, but disruptive. The north-south split will define Europe's winter. Deep freeze above, storms below. Both regions must prepare for extremes, whether it's snowdrifts or swollen rivers. For Scandinavia, the reward is auroral magic. For the Mediterranean, a wild, wet ride. Winter 2026 will be a tale of two climates. Preparation is key for a severe winter. Fit your car with winter tires, check batteries and antifreeze, and keep an emergency kit in both car and home. Stock up on essentials: blankets, food, torches, and power banks. Prepare for power cuts, and check on vulnerable neighbors. Use reliable weather apps and sign up for official alerts to stay ahead of storms and cold snaps. Insulate your home, bleed radiators, and service your boiler to stay warm and save energy. These simple steps boost safety, comfort, and resilience. Don't wait for the first snow. Get ready now. A little preparation goes a long way when the big chill arrives. A severe winter can be daunting, but it's also a chance to reconnect with nature's power and beauty. By preparing our homes, vehicles, and communities, we can face the cold with confidence. There's magic in a snow-blanketed world: the crunch underfoot, the hush, the glow of firesides. For some, it's the northern lights. For others, legendary skiing or city streets transformed by snow. Winter brings challenges, but also wonder, reflection, and community spirit. Let's be ready for disruption, but open to awe. Nature's about to put on a grand show. Let's watch, stay safe, and make memories. Winter 2026